is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for June 17th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. We have a reverse agent call, health call, tomorrow night at 9 p.m. We all of us experience suffering in life, this life, because of one little thing: ignorance. Ignorance is just a lack of knowledge. If you take the word ignore, add a little dance to it, you get ignorance. When we ignore the truth of our infinite being, our ignorance expands and soon transfers us onto the path of suffering. To transcend our ignorance and find spiritual freedom in our life again, the intention for a deeper awareness is needed. We must choose to welcome the most profound state of consciousness we can imagine by simply opening up to our own consciousness. We can release anything instantly that would make us suffer. Nothing more than pure awareness is needed to transcend this illusion and rediscover the liberating truth of who we are. And in each moment of our lives has the potentiality to become the most liberating, healing, enlightening experience we can handle. The more open, ready, and willing we are to receive something magnificent, the easier and faster the magic comes flooding in. And when we are ready for this enlightenment, it will find us. We don't have to strive for it. In fact, the harder we would work for it, the further it moves away from us. Just choose to make it a priority to totally relax and enjoy this life. Fully surrender to your real self. Explore who you truly are, what you really want, and what your purpose on this earth actually is on a spiritual level. There's actually, about 10 different applications that you can employ. Be open to the new. Release your ego's need to be right about anything. That's a toughie. Being right can be the hardest ego trip to get off of, and yet causes a major amount of suffering. If the ego believes it is wrong about any one little thing, it starts feeling insecure. That you basically could be wrong about everything in your entire life. Whatever the mind believes is true always becomes our reality in that moment. So the colored lens we perceive our world with today becomes how the world tends to appear for us tomorrow. If everyone around us from birth to death says that life is hard, painful, and unfair experience, and we believe them, then how will we ever learn how to relax and let go, trust, and enjoy living in this absolutely amazing universe? If we think we must fight to get what we want in life, we end up manifesting a very serious, challenging ride. To experience love, enlightenment, and freedom, we must choose to step over our egos and be open to a completely new experience of this life in each moment. Our inner and outer world is one massive playground. Learn how to be free and have fun with your life. Think of each new day as your chance to step on a very interesting and comical life stage. You can choose any hat to wear, lens to see through, or fascinating role you desire to play. Let go of doing and practice simply being. sounds strange to some people. What do you mean, practice being? What is that? It has become abnormal for people to just relax, sit still, be silent and alone. That's pretty true, isn't it? It has become abnormal for people to just relax, sit still, be silent and alone. Doaholics have become the social norm. Many people avoid meditation because they think it is boring. They don't have time for it, or feel that they have failed at it, trying to quiet their minds after a few random attempts. When we realize that all of our suffering, chaos, and illness in this life is caused by our inability to quiet the mind, we will spend more time practice being present and less invested in doing something, thinking it will take us somewhere better than being here. Eventually, with enough time spent practicing being present to the now, we discover our real infinite nature inside. We realize we are spiritual beings and have everything we were looking for and so much more. And the greatest mystics in history all discovered enlightenment when they were simply being quiet, relaxed, and fully in the here and now. When their big awakening happened, they were not trying to do anything. This is the great mystery of this life. And mastery of the mind is by far the greatest achievement mankind can ever have. The experience of being here now, feeling one with the infinite, all-powerful, and omniscient universal God force is enough. It is empowering and highly enlightening to redefine all those old definitions of what it means to get somewhere special in your life. Being free from our family's unconscious myths and society's deep, ignorant programming. When we were all children, what was communicated to us about enlightenment? Anything? Did anybody have a clue what enlightenment was or how to experience an enlightened state of bliss? Did anyone ever show you how to open up your chakras, meditate, or communicate with God? I'd say most likely everyone around you was more or less spiritually lost. And then telling you what they believed would make you happy, loved, and successful in this life. They wanted the best for you, yet ended up communicating to you how to be unhappy, unenlightened through their actions, belief system, and behavior. If you go back and think about your childhood, what do you remember was the typical standard story you were told that made you feel like a failure, isolated, unloved, or a sense of separation? What belief system did you inherit from your family that created massive limits on how you feel about yourself and life today? You may have heard some messages like, you need an education to become somebody. There just isn't enough time for that. We cannot afford that. You cannot be, do, or have XYZ. You are just too much of a blah, blah, blah. And naturally, we are all very gullible as children. Yet, if we did not become identified with our family's limiting belief system, we may not be here. If we didn't think like they did, they might have stopped feeding us and pushed us out of the tribe. We needed to think small, to do what we were told, and obey the one in charge in order to remain accepted, loved, and alive. From the moment we were born, and actually we're not really born, we all received the idea that this unenlightened state of life was the norm. We may have seen all the insane world problems on the nightly TV news and thought that this was how the entire world operated and mass suffering was just the way things were. As we became teenagers, we either rebelled or became assimilated into the unenlightenment system, fell deeper into the story of separation. And the more we accepted or rebelled from our community, the greater our feelings of lack, isolation, and struggle grew inside. Being surrounded by unenlightened people was an enormous lose-lose situation. And to make matters worse, we were forced to attend some jail-like education system. which worked about 3% of our brain's potentiality and was designed to churn once brilliant creative kids through a social formatting grinder so they became hard workers for the system. We were taught wonderful lies that everyone believed to be true, like how a human life expectancy should only be 75 to 100 years old, when in reality, our DNA can last at least 300 years without messing with anything. We were told that we would have to work really hard to have a home, limited energy, resources, food, knowledge, and power. We were never taught to rebel against authority, think freely, independently, or even consider the possibility of becoming spiritually enlightened. The school system made it illegal to teach children how to find a deep inner connection with the infinite source. It was not important to learn how to meditate, heal your body through your breath, how to make tantric love, master your mind through totally quietness and stillness, enjoy all our emotions, know the infinite truth of who we are, or how to achieve absolute inner freedom and bliss. The society all around us is still hypnotizing adults and their children to believe that success is all about achieving a higher level of status, money, and career. Our poor educational system is still in its infancy and simply has never had a large dose of enlightenment, so it doesn't know any better. There are many awakened beings in this world today who know the truth, that real success in life is defined by how liberated, spiritually rich, loving, and enlightened we are as human beings. The world is slowly waking up, one person at a time. People are beginning to see that happiness is not something you can attain from striving to achieve the right income, status, career, marriage, or diploma. Striving to reach these things will only distract you from walking our spiritual path and discover the most rewarding life experience of them all. And remember, whatever limited ideas that we received from our families, our schools, our school system, where their limitations were their limitations, not yours. When you stop and give back those beliefs, you can reclaim your spiritual freedom again within yourself. The limiting beliefs handed down from your family run deep in your blood, and it will take every ounce of awareness inside you to see them. Freedom will occur when they are fully seen, felt into, and released from your mental, emotional body, as well as your subconscious mind. We must choose to forgive all of these people of their unenlightened programming if we are ever to be fully free. It is all karmic, and nobody is to blame. They simply were not taught by their parents how to live in a constant state of wonder and amazement in their lives while doing daily tasks like changing diapers, cutting the grass, going to work, paying their bills. And when we forgive them and see how they were not raised by fully self-realized, self-actualized, enlightened beings, we can easily forgive ourselves for the limiting beliefs and negative feelings about ourselves that we inherited. Be outrageous and stop hiding from your spiritual power in some safe little fishbowl. We can often hide from our life mission and spiritual purpose in our minds. Thoughts are safe, while real-life experiences out there seem dangerous, scary, and unsafe. Life is inherently insecure because death is always potentially around the next corner. Now, we might find it easier to not take risks, to go for our big dreams in life for fear of getting hurt or lost in the wild ocean. When we only choose to stay safe, comfy, and basically dead inside our little comfortable fishbowls of old habits, we only do the things that once gave a sense of confidence and security and stop growing completely. This life is this beautiful natural chaos with a divine cosmic structure. Our lives are this daily adventurous roller coaster ride that we need to learn how to enjoy. Life is meant to be fun because we just don't know exactly how things will turn out. We won't know until the last second how we will respond to what someone says or how you'll make the most important decision you need to make. Each experience in our lives is here for our spiritual growth. Each boring, exciting, or normal experience is meant to expand us, help us see and feel the entire ocean around us now, and jump out of our safe little fishbowl and swim in the ocean of existence. It's easy to do. Simply stop thinking about your life and actually start enjoying the one you're living, feeling, and breathing in this now. Embracing and loving every fear that arises. The less fear we are holding in the body, the more we can relax and open ourselves up to experiencing a more expansive, enlightened state of consciousness. All fears are simply emotionally contracted thoughts invented by a mind that still believes it is disconnected from the source. It's good to know that the word fear, as we all know, actually stands for false evidence appearing real. To transcend any fear, we must choose to first discover what we are deeply afraid of. We can access any fear by opening ourselves up to another person intimately in conversation, letting the other peer into you. Soon you'll be able to see deeper into yourself and understand exactly what you are running from in your life. Once you know this, what you are running away from, run towards it. Welcome it into your heart with a big embrace. This approach will dissolve any fear instantaneously. And in time, it will be completely released from your body. The more practice you have in embracing your fears, the easier it becomes to find total relaxation, so that you can access your full spiritual connection within your consciousness. Stop trying to continuously improve or fix yourself. This may seem contradictory to other messages, yet it's actually complementary. How often do you find yourself trying to replace your negative thoughts and feelings with positive ones? How much of your life has been spent trying to heal yourself or your mind? Is all the effort and energy you're putting into improving you actually are making you relax into the experience that you are already divine, already sacred, deeply lovable, already connected to the God source? Now, the result from continuously fixing, improving, and healing yourself is perpetuating the feeling of, I am not okay exactly as I am. I'm not okay exactly as I am, because I'm constantly fixing, improving, and healing myself. Any unconscious self-improvement habit is just another egoic dis-ease. The real problem is not what it appears to be. Go to the root of the matter, which is this dualistic mind, and uproot the entire I'm broken and need to be fixed emotional program. Realize that who you are, each of us are, is neither these negative or positive thoughts, yet the consciousness and awareness behind them. Only through pure awareness will you be able to stop the habit of lying, trying to change. Fix and improve yourself, and instead surrender deeply into the spiritual sacred core of your being, where self-realization is. Enjoying the practice of quieting the incessant chattering and repetitive mind. Any of us are exempt from that. The mind is a limited conglomeration of ideas and beliefs about who we think we are and what reality is. It behaves much like a computer that is unaware of itself and just spits out information that was programmed into it. The mind is like a machine, so it is not conscious. The mind is a horrible master and a wonderful servant. We need to train the mind so that we can use it instead of being used by it. It cannot remain in the present moment. It must keep moving with ideas that engage the past and the future to remain in control of you. When we quiet the mind, we regain control of it. The more we can practice paying attention to the stillness and silence that is behind the chattering mind, the less power the mind has over us, and the less we will get trapped in our limited ego or identity. The word ego, ego, is really just an acronym for excluding God's omnipresence. The ego is really just an acronym for excluding God's omnipresence. Through the constant awareness of our ego, we can bypass the mind and access this omnipresent divine spiritual energy inside of us. We can discover our natural enlightened state. We become aligned with the bigger truth that we already are infinite spiritual beings who have been given the gift of a limited physical human expression with illusionary challenges that make us grow. When the mind is quiet, we can enjoy this divine play and find real peace with the entire dynamic. We find full acceptance that we are both the ego and spirit and know all is perfect as it is. Releasing all attachments and aversions to everyone and everything. As humans, we tend to get attached to or avoid certain thoughts and feelings we believe will make us happy or unhappy. We get into habits of resisting this life, trying to control our experiences so that we can get what we think will only bring us joy and avoid what makes us happy. We even create these patterns based on what others say, feel, and believe, and ignore our own inner voice and connection. This attachment and avoidance habit manifests because deep down we feel disconnected from our spiritual source. We are still trying to find some form of security by controlling our reality. When we were all young, we saw others avoiding what is painful and remaining attached to what is pleasurable and believe this is how it should be done. The enlightened state shows up when we listen to our heart and stop being attached to or avoiding anything. When we understand that this life is like a pendulum designed to swing and give us both experiences of pain and pleasure, we can transcend them both. By accepting this natural pendulum swing, we become free from being the one who always needs to be in control and running the show. Pain and suffering are just the universe's way of telling us to let go. Pain and suffering are the universe's way of telling us to let go and trust the flow. The purpose of feeling pain is not to create more suffering, yet. For us to wake up and create an immediate new life change, this change is necessary for us to evolve and eventually drop all identity with our ego trip so we can return to our spiritual source. By allowing ourselves to let go of our mind's attachments and aversions, we can genuinely enjoy our life again. We then start energetically communicating to the universe that we are abundant, thankful, happy, beautiful, and free. This experience allows us to expand in consciousness and deepen our connection to our infinite source within. Being free from the illusion that we are separate from the infinite source of love, energy, and connection. Being free of this illusion. Feeling separate and disconnected from our universe is the unenlightened state. We become enlightened when we are continuously aware how deeply and intimately connected we already are. illusion of separation is not an accident or coincidence. The universe is extremely intelligent. Every feeling of separation is needed so that coming spiritually home is that much more amazing. The polarization of separation, unification, breeds a truly juicy, alive, and incredible experience of life. When we become enlightened, we will see the full illusion and know we become enlightened. We will see the full illusion and know how to stop manifesting another experience of loss, failure, or separation. Again, the illusion that we are not connected to the divine is karmic. It stems from lifetimes of our mind's attachment and avoidance of limiting ideas of who and what we think we are. And once we untangle ourselves from our fun, sticky karmic mess, we will remember that we were always one energy, one sea of consciousness, and always connected with our source. All experiences of suffering simply drop away when we pay closer attention to who we truly are. All the suffering comes from a lack of awareness of our divinity. Once we stop forgetting our eternal abundant nature, we begin stepping forward into a life overflowing with synchronicity, ease, grace, love, and knowing our divine unlimited nature. Waking up is as simple and easy as remembering that the sun is always on, always bright, and always shining somewhere. Know that you truly know that who you truly are is already awake, enlightened, loving, and free. When it comes down to it, we already have everything we need inside of us to experience all the love, all the joy and happiness we could ever desire. All efforting to get anywhere better than here is simply divine misguidance. The universe is already amazing. We are already amazing. And this moment is totally amazing. By sitting in awe of this amazingness that is already here now, we wake up to the spiritual immensity of our being. We suddenly stop playing small. We end all of our suffering and continuously step into the vastness of our totality. The pathway into enlightenment is a perpetual journey into the now. This wonderful yet treacherous journey involves getting to know ourselves very intimately, gently, and spiritually. When we break free from the hard, cold, calculating mind, we realize we truly are is love itself. We then find out our life's spiritual mission and sole purpose is to radiate this love everywhere we are. When we know that our real nature is the divine itself, we become desireless, selfless, and effortlessly remember how deeply, intimately, and infinitely connected we all already are to the spiritual source inside it all. Nothing is lacking in you. You cannot be improved upon. People who try to improve you are destroying you. They are the real mischief makers. There are so many improvers in the world. That's why the world is such a chaos. There are too many people trying to improve you. Don't allow anybody to improve you. You already are the last word. You're not only the alpha, you are the omega also. You are whole. You are complete, and you are perfect. Even if you feel imperfect, that imperfection is perfect. Do not worry about it. It will look strange to others if you say that your imperfection is also perfect, and nothing is lacking in you. Yet the fact is that you appear imperfect not because you are imperfect, but because you are a growing perfection. We think perfection cannot evolve. Because what we mean by perfection is that which has come to its last growth. This definition of perfection is dead. God is perfect because God lacks nothing. God goes on growing from one perfection to another. The growth continues. God is evolution, not moving from imperfection to perfection, but from perfection to more perfection, to still more perfection. Also. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we really care to do is relax our bodies. Just let all of the garbage, all of the fear and the stress and the anxiety and envy and greed and hate and anger, whatever you're carrying, just walk up, give it a big hug, and send it on its way, because I'll guarantee you it'll vaporize right before your eyes. It is only when we run the opposite direction from those things that they keep growing, and they're always there. They never go away. So you just let it go. You'll know through your heart-mind that the body is relaxed because it'll feel light as a feather. You won't be thinking. You really won't. And when you've done this, and you know this, you automatically move into the now. Moment to moment. The space between heartbeats. Only the now. And in the now is all of our power. In the now releases us from our own bondage and our own slavery. It is only what we're doing in the moment that matters. Nothing else matters. It's only the moment. Because you don't know if that moment is the last moment you will have in the body that you're in. You don't know. That's why every moment is absolute bliss. Every part of your existence is absolute bliss. Now, how many people feel that way? Well, I just shared why they do feel that way. So as we're in the now, we all have memories that we keep filed in our subconscious mind. And those memories, we reminisce. Something could trigger it, a noise, some music, a conversation, familiarity with some place that you're at. And it's fun. We have fun doing that. But it's not constant. To do it all the time isn't our story. Now, some of us, we go into a past, and the past is dead. We don't have a past. People say, do you have a past? No, I don't. It's all dead. All I have is the now. That's the real truth. The only thing I have is the moment I'm in. That's the real truth. So in the now, you see, some people don't know that they don't know what the now is. So they'll get bored and they wander into the past. Past is deader than a doornail. I look at it as an elephant graveyard, dank and musty and foggy and not a breath of air. And some of us will just sit there and stay there. And we'll bring it into a future that doesn't exist. We'll create that future from that past, and we'll live that past in that future. This is why a lot of people will say, it always seem like we're in the same, in the same position no matter what I do. Well, that's why. More suffering. Others, they'll go into a future that doesn't exist. And they don't know it doesn't exist. They just go and they keep wondering, and they're wandering around saying, well, when is this going to happen for me? When am I going to have this? When am I going to have that? When is this going to take place? When is that going to take place? When am I going to meet the one? When, when this, when that, when this, when that. And then in doing so, you become hurried and you get stressed out. So we only have the now. The now is where we create our futures. The now also holds former moments, memories. But the key is, how do we stay in the now with all of these thoughts that we all are just flooded with 24/7, tens of thousands of them? And the interesting thing is that they're not ours. So, you're focused on something, and next thing you know, you're off and you're just kind of floating away into these other thoughts. So when you do that and you're consciously aware of it, it's not a biggie. You just gently say to yourself, well, okay, so I wandered off. I'll just concentrate on my breathing. I'll focus on my breath, which is divine positive energy. And the reason it's divine positive energy is that the soul comes into the body, powers the body. Everything starts working, lungs, oxygenation, so on and so forth. Now, when you understand that, really, really embrace it, not superficially. You'll be free because you're literally leaving the mind and the ego, and sometimes you're leaving it. You're not entertaining it. And when you do that, and you keep practicing that, and you then look at the ego mind, and you understand how they operate, and then they realize that you don't need them. And what happens then? Well, you're free. You aren't thinking about what you need to change about yourself. You really are not. You're in the now. That's future. You see how it works? We're always constantly trying to figure out how to fix ourselves. And we're already perfect beings. And most of the time we look in the mirror and see how we're going to fix ourselves is because we don't know who we are. We don't know that we're part of the God source. We don't know that there's a God within these bodies. Most people don't know that. Not to the depth that you must choose to know it. This is all about self-discovery for all of us. And the less attention that we spend on the material world, and the more attention we spend on the gods within these bodies, you will see miraculous things take place. And not years apart either. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to just kind of, clap our hands or snap our fingers? All of our brothers and sisters would wake up at once. They'd start, educating themselves and waking up more. So we're all on the same page. Wouldn't that be something? All of us, 8 billion plus of us, all on one page, simultaneously. And to feel it. So we relax the body. It becomes as light as a feather. We let go of all of the things that we drag, the negatives. We've already learned from them. We're in the now. We know how to stay in the now, our divine positive energy, our breath. So we're looking at the body. Because you remember, you're not the body. None of us are the body. So you're looking at the body that you're in, and you see these energy vortexes, these colored wheels of light. And everyone's a different color. And they're in a straight line, kind of, from the tailbone all the way to the top of the head. When they're crooked or out of place, means that the God force love light energy is being blocked by that chakra. So this is all about knowing for ourselves. It's all about navigating this life. So when you see the red wheel of light, this is the root chakra. This deals with our survival, finances, money, food, and it's blocked by fear. Remember, fear is a thought. The only way it becomes a reality is that we take that fear, energy, we move it into form. That's how it happens. So if you're trying to survive with a group of people in the wilderness, and one of you goes into fear and panic, they aren't going to survive. Then we move to the orange wheel of light, the sacral chakra. This deals with our pleasure, sexuality, joy, bliss. I mean, it's endless. And understand it's all coming from within us. Not coming from outside. Guilt stops us in our pleasure. You've done it. We've all done it. We've all been in a existence where everything is just floating. We're enjoying ourselves, and none of us have done that. But the ego mind comes in and says, "Oh, well, you don't deserve to be this happy all the time. It's okay right now, but enjoy it while you can, because it ain't going to last." And you ever have people tell you that? Hey, Alice, I know you're really having a good time enjoying yourself and everything, but you know as well as I do this isn't going to last forever. You see how it's that herky-jerky, that mind-ego comes in? And in reality, you are the celebration, 24/7. You are the party. You are the joy. You're the laughter. You're all of it. And you're divine perfection in that body. So we move to the yellow wheel of light. This is willpower. And our willpower is blocked by shame. You ever seen anybody who's got confidence and, they're kind of just percolating along, and then something gets into them through the ego mind and they feel shameful? What? And about 99.9% of the things we feel shameful about are garbage. Then we move to the emerald green wheel of light, which basically is our ability to love, the heart chakra, and it's blocked by grief. I'm telling you, if you're in grief, you are incapable of love. Then we move to the blue wheel of light, the throat chakra. It deals with truth, and it's blocked by lies. Then we move to the indigo wheel of light, third eye chakra. Deals with insight, and is blocked by illusion. And then the crown chakra. This is our direct connection to the divine, the God that we are. Cosmic energy. And of all things, it's blocked by our ego attachment. It's our attachment to the ego. And as long as that little fella is in charge, we suffer. And I really don't think that any of us intend to suffer. So we can take our divine positive energy, our breath, and our soul, God energy, God force, love energy, we go all the way to the top of the head in these bodies. So we can compress and condense that liquid energy into omnipotently powerful energy, and then we release it over our pineal glands. Now, our pineal glands are really important to us for in these physical forms because they're the gateway to all the particles of existence. They connect us to everything. None of us have a fully functioning, healthy, happy, vibrant, circulating pineal gland. Not yet. I mean, we all have functioning pineal glands. They're just not at full capacity. Now, you can see it through your heart, mind's, emotion picture, however you view the pineal gland. I see it as a rosebud. It's a green ball. And as soon as I pour this omnipotently powerful liquid energy over it, it expands immediately and transforms into this massive rose with multicolored petals, sending off just a beautiful fragrance, and it's flooding and soaking and saturating me in the purest of the highest deep eternal love. It's like a nirvana beyond the kundalini. Beyond the samadhi. And it's just absolutely spectacular. And then this deep eternal gratitude floods in. And this deep eternal peace. And you are. And you find out that the rose is you, and you're the rose. You're the God. How can you not understand that? These bodies that we're in, okay? The heart mind, the ego mind, the subconscious mind, the higher self, the soul, the spirit, the God, the pure consciousness, right? It's all one. And we, all of us, are heaven on this earth. The soul is the heaven, the body is the earth. And every step we take, those of us who are somewhat awake, every step we take, we see we are creating paradise. And we're shining our light 24/7, 360 degrees. Our ultimate understanding in this journey is that we are love. And our love shines outward. And once we discover all of that, then you know who and what you are. So our light, our love light energy is flooding everything, saturating, soaking everything, head to toe, inside and out. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. And we know, some of us will, that when we decide to leave these bodies, we will know that we are the light. When you leave that body and you discover, you know that you are the light, you will not follow the light because you are the light. And you will know you are the light. So we are creating. We literally are. Those of us who are awake. We are creating a God paradise planet. And only we can do it. Part of the collective consciousness. So if you were to take a flight, 100 miles outside, 200 miles outside the planet, you would see that it glowed. If you went further out, you would see that it glowed. If you went to the other side of this galaxy, you would see that it glowed. Now we seek out other parts of us that are consciously aware. Okay? Does that make the other parts of us that are not consciously aware any less? No. They are divine perfection as well. They're just not awake yet. But we seek out the ones, the parts of us that are. Like all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, including this planet. Yet only those that are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, in the forming of the circle of light, in the complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. See it through your heart, mind's motion picture. Feel it through the heart. Now, they come in the googolplexes. One googolplex fills this entire universe with no sacred space to spare. They come in trillions of googolplexes from trillions of universes. Now, the ones on this planet is with these eyes, we only see 1% of what is on this planet. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with, we know of them, but there are so many others. Shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations, which we've never seen before. So the ones that we're somewhat aware of, the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And all of them are with us now consciously. You feel that through your heart, mind, the energy, the frequency in this gathering. You can't even measure it. It's so far off the charts. So we call out to all of the off-worlders, galactics, celestials, right? Yet only those that are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, and form this circle of light and complete liberation of this planet. Now, we're only familiar with a smidgen of them. Over 1,000 travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. And the ones that we're kind of aware of, Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Felines, the Reticuli, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian, many, many, many more. And they are with us now consciously in the billions. We call upon all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath her. Yet only those that are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, form this circle of light, and complete liberation of this planet. Feel it. Feel the energy in your heart minds. They've been assisting us in our evolution and our ascension and our enlightenment, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And they are all with us now, consciously. Call upon all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light, and the complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. Now they come in the billions, and they are with us now consciously. And we're all gathered, arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God. And we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify. And it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the God source within each and every single one of us. It is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take over 1,000 trillion suns to come close to its radiance. It is the highest of the highest high of pure, deep, eternal love. And we are flooding this planet 24/7 eternally with this pure, deep, eternal love. Or life, the highest supreme value in the universe. We are lifting the spirits and the energies across this entire planet into higher and higher frequencies of pure, deep, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We begin to ascend. As we do, and we move up above this planet, we come into direct contact with this massive ocean of glitter. And it is everywhere. And it is reflecting in trillions of vibrant colors, flashing between all of us gathered in this meditation. It's like a laser light show, except highly accelerated. And so we look for the points of reflection. We notice these microscopic mirrors. So we enter them. And we finally discover that we're all teachers and students of each other. We're learning from each other. We're learning from ourselves. We're students and teachers. And that's always. It's phenomenal. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael, this column of light that we've created. It reminds us all that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet blue purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we've created that reminds each and every one of us of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met by the white fire. This is a column of light that we've all created that from head to toe, inside and out, imbues us with a white fire armor beyond that of a physical knight. This emanates from the God source love light energy within each and every single one of us. It's pure love. And it can't be penetrated. It can't be dismissed. No demon attachments. No attachments, no possessions, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies nothing can harm any of us. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, greed, anger, envy, worry, stress, fear, anxiety, you will create a breach in your white fire armor. Enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you decide to do this, you're immediately met with a purple transmuting flame. This is a column of light that we created that we can bring in. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance. We can send them back to consciousness, pure consciousness, where they're vaporized. They're no more. They're gone for good. We are then met with a violet ray. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we've created. We can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were. Restoring our vibrational harmony of the highest high of deep eternal love, gratitude, and peace. Sealing the breach in our white fire armor. We are then met by the golden, white, pink light. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the trees and the forests. We are the soils. We are the waters, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the animals. We are everything. And everything is us. So the next time you see a sunset or a sunrise or a rainbow, you are that beauty. You are that divineness. You are that vista, that grandeur, those colors. It is you. It is each and every single one of us. We continue to ascend above this planet, and as we do, some of us step outside our physical forms and float effortlessly above them if we're carrying physical form. Why do we do that? Well, because we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline-like tower. We created this tower. It's bigger than a solar system. It's huge. Center of the column, we see this oblong sphere. This sphere, in the center of it, has a golden white ball of light. It is surrounded by numerous rings of light, all multicolored. And this is sending out massive waves, the golden white ball of light, pure, deep, eternal love, and pure, deep, eternal gratitude. Pure, deep, eternal love, well-being, great wealth, great abundance, great prosperity, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness. It's endless. And at the top of this column, we designed it so that the golden ocean could come cascading down 360 degrees, as it's doing right now, as it has been doing for eons, flooding and saturating and soaking us all with the highest of the highest high of pure, deep, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. You can feel it. By just being, you can feel it. Now, we are drops of this golden ocean. Golden ocean. This is drops of the golden ocean. And we hold the essence of this golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere at set center circle. We created this sphere over 3 years ago. Hundreds of millions of us on and off world with the highest of the highest high intent every day in these meditations. We have over 1,400 of them. They're flooding us all, soaking us all, saturating all of us. Lifting, motivating our God force, God source, to continue to ascend. To continue to be consciously aware. That's why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. This is why it continues to intensify. This is why it continues to expand. Oftentimes, we ask ourselves, who is the one? Who is the one? Where does the one come from? And you can come to the conclusion, because each and every single one of us will, sooner or later, you are the one. You always have been, you always will be, ever beyond and forever. You are the one. I'll join you in a meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move slowly. And the woman who held the babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life, longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you, for life goes not backward, nor tarries yesterday." Then said a rich man, "Speak to us of giving." And he answered, "You give but little when you give of your possessions. You give but little when you give of your possessions. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give. For what are your possessions but things you keep and guard for fear you may need them tomorrow? And tomorrow, what shall tomorrow bring to the overprudent dog bearing bones and the trackless sand as he follows the pilgrims to the holy city? And what is fear of need but need itself? Is not dread of thirst when your well is full, the thirst that is unquenchable? There are those who give little of the much which they have, and they give it for recognition, and their hidden desire makes their gifts unwholesome. So if you will, take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the following morning. And we will be back here Friday, June 18th, 2021, to continue our Global Guided Meditation call at 3 p.m. Eastern, and our Reverse Aging call at 9 p.m.